Absolutely. Aqua Warrior 01. Rose Petal. Babo. How y'all doing? Absolutely. Ricky Williams. Rose Petal. How y'all doing? Oh my goodness. Sorry about. I'm hollering over here because it's a good day. It's a good day. I love y'all. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? We're getting into it, family. We're getting into some good reading today. Remote learning. How are you? How y'all doing, fam? Hey, Jai. Do me a favor, fam. Like this live. Share this live for people that might want this conversation. We're just having opportunities to have conversation around the moon, around what's going on emotionally. Hey, absolutely. It's gotta be successful. Anything. Hey, hey. How y'all doing, fam? All things are working for me. Thank you, John, for the like. Thank you for the share. Thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me to be of service in this way. One more round. Absolutely. Oh, oh. Grand rising, everybody. Hey, I know that today and is. Oh, yes, it is. Come on, and anything I put my hands to. Yes. Mm. Welcome, welcome. Greetings and salutations, love, healing energies. I hope you guys are doing amazing. I am doing exceptionally well. Give me one feeling word if you don't mind putting it in the chat to let me know how you are feeling on today. How are you feeling, family, on today? Hey, MDAF83, I see you on YouTube. Appreciate you chiming in. How are y'all feeling today? Give me one feeling word. Give me one feeling word. Drain. Okay, well, we'll hope that by the end of this conversation, you'll have a little energy. Amazing. I love it. I love it. For those that are watching elsewhere, welcome, 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 welcome. I will try to comment on the other apps as much as I can, as much as I can. I know I have a lot of programs running in the back, so I'm trying to close out so I can hopefully be able to see all the comments that are coming in from YouTube, Facebook. I'm working diligently to make sure that those that are watching elsewhere can, when I'm, those that are watching elsewhere, you'll be able to say what you're feeling, what you're commenting, and I'll be able to see it. So thank you for those that are watching on the other apps as well. Primarily, my focus is on TikTok, so I appreciate you guys being here in this space. Everywhere, okay? So we have been doing conversations. We've been reading from this book, Astrology of the Moon, and this is the one book that I just picked up because I was doing a study on my own moon, and I started doing some reading about my own moon sign, and things just started to click. Like just me being an emotional being, how I process emotions, my calling, like my calling to serve, especially with this battle that I was having with, do I fellowship with Jesus? Do I not fellowship with Jesus? Like, where do I land spiritually? And those that be like, what conversation with Jesus? Like, Jesus is the only way. For some, he is not. And I think that in this conversation that we are going to continuously have is holding space for everybody and not beating somebody over the head because they don't believe the way that you believe. So, but to just kind of bring it in, because there's no heat, no judgment. Know that we are all one, and Jesus Christ is is a facilitator of conversations around consciousness. And if you were to live in that truth, if you were to live, you don't have to, if you were to live in that truth, it would invite more healing, more opportunity for you to have personal development, a lot of opportunities, in my opinion, for you to neither project what you're experiencing on the other people, but for you to take accountability as to your own experiences that you are having currently. So in this, we are having conversations around. Hey, Sonya, thank you for the heart. In this, we're having conversations around the moon. We've tied it to the Bible. The connection that we brought in is in the beginning, God created two lights. Thank you for the share. Created two lights. He created the light for the day, which is representation of our sun, which is representation of our ego and how we see things out in the world. Then he created the lesser, which would go to the moon to govern the night, which is our sub hey, trick or treat, which is our subconscious mind, the secrets that we cannot see, the inner parts of us that we don't want to share or have a hard time sharing. But when we really look at the totality of what the scripture was saying and even navigate into this world of the sun and the moon, we realize that both of them have dominion. Both of them have dominion, right? You have your sun, which shows us what's in our ego and what's out here in the world, right? And so we get to play with these ideas and what we're experiencing, but then we get to look at our moon sign, our innate being, how we're processing what we are experiencing in this outer world, and then be able to tap in to change how we're feeling inwardly about what we're experiencing so that we can change what we are ultimately seeing on the outer. So I'm bringing this conversation in because a lot of people don't deal with their emotions. Just like a lot of people would rather deal and go outside in the daytime, and then when it's dark, it can get a little scary. It can get a little, just even with this depiction of horror movies, horror normally happens in the nighttime. Come on, I just had that analogy. Why scary things can't happen in the day? And I just thought about that. Interesting, interesting. If you feel me, fam. But when we look at this concept, it be the things in the dark, and we were to. They can, right, right. But it be this nighttime. Let's operate in the moon. Listen, it's be these in my thinking. It be these things in the dark that people don't normally want to deal with, that can actually bring about greater victories and greater lessons that we can process and navigate our life in a more triumphant way and not a victimhood type of way. Okay, so if this you're ready for this conversation, let's get into it. I'm going to just recap some things that I've been trying to recap for those that are, if you're new here, let me know where you're tuning in from so I can greet you in the name of love. But I want to run some things back just so we're on the same accord, because I want people to know that we're not using this as a demonic tool to connect with the devil, and really want to, and maybe eventually I'll stop saying that, but to me it's important, and maybe it's for my own inner being now that I'm saying it out loud, but for those that are coming in that are deconstructing, when you've been told things of are demonic and you have not done your research, it can put you off when you run into somebody that loves God, loves the conversation around Jesus and using astrology and using tarot, because these are tools. These are tools that Jesus, the man himself, was even navigating and talking about as he was talking in parables that us Western mindsets, when you only reach for a King James Bible, will never know about. Okay? So this is just a conversation to give you tools so you can manage your humanness and not be so caught up in your spirituality. Don't be so spiritual that you know earthly good. And these tools in astrology is giving us access on how to live in our humanness and access our divinity. Okay? So, and we're reading from Astrology of the Moon, Amy Herring, and we're just gonna pull some nuggets from here. Okay? All right, fam. If you're ready for this conversation, drop your sign in the chat. If you're ready for this conversation, drop your sign in the chat. And again, we're referencing the moon. If you don't know your moon sign, let me put it out there. You can go to get your natal chart reading. I recommend getting your doing it with your date and your exact time, so that you can get your full compass of who you are as an individual, to get your rising, to get your sun, and to get your moon, and to get all the other placements that could be adjacent to where to who you are. All right. So if you're ready for this conversation, drop your sign. If you can't find the emoji, just put it in the wording. What is your sign? And it put your moon sign. If you got that. If you got your moon sign, okay, Scorpio. Come on, Scorpio. Scorpio is we're in Scorpio season. Not only are we in Scorpio season, but did y'all know that the moon is moving into Scorpio on Friday? Come on, the new moon at that. An opportunity to, okay, well, we're gonna get in that. Okay. Come on. Your beat in November the 1st, huh? That's what's up. Come on. New moon on Friday. Come on. Get into the new moon. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Amanda Marie. Hey. Happy birthday to you. All right, that was for you. Okay, here we go. So, you're welcome. All right, so here we go. Astrology's best use is not categorizing or classifying, but direction and prescription. Okay, we're not using it to tell the future, because we don't know the future, but we can use it to orchestrate how we move accordingly, so that when opportunities present themselves, we're not tucking tails and running. We're standing in the truth of the possibilities that could happen and navigating our life in that way. Okay? Astrology's best use is not categorizing or classifying, but direction and prescription. Our entire understanding of our chart opens up when we look at it not from perspective of what we already are, but what we are becoming. The chart is our prescription, suggestions for how to live a more fulfilling life. And I've used this scripture reference before, Psalms 19:1. The heavens tell of the glory of God, the handiwork of God, right? And then if we were to tie it into Psalms 139, I'm gonna have to go remember that scripture. I am fearfully and beautifully and wonderfully made. Who made you, God? So how can I identify with this? I can look up and I can reflect on the other creation that God has made that tells of his goodness. All right? So I can look up. Yeah, naturally I have to check your moon sign. Yes. I can look up and use the heavens and the stars to tell of the handiwork that I am. Come on, somebody. I can look up and see how magnificent God is, only to know how magnificent I am. Okay. 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 Who says it like that? There's somebody that say that. Okay. Okay. I don't know who that. Okay. So astrologically, the moon is the symbol for our feelings and our instinctual emotional reactions. How it's placed in our natal chart can tell us what things make us feel happy or sad, what hurts us, and what we need to feel nurtured, safe, and taken care of. It can tell us about our baseline needs to love, establish a sense of trust and family. And I know I'm recapping, but I like to recap so we get into this energy of remembrance, because the way we got here is by programming through repetition. All right? But that's another story, okay? The sun and the moon are actually joined themselves. While they are separate bodies, the moon reflects the light of the sun. Lest I leave you thinking that the sun is for is the real deal, and the moon is just a pale second to the sun's power. Okay, it is the moon's role in reflecting that light that enables us to see at all when the way is dark. Right, just as we must find our way intuitively in situations where reason alone failed us. Okay, so we're using this energy of the moon, to tap in. How can I be guided in these dark places? Well, I tap into my moon sign, right, which is my connection to God, still with the energy of this. Okay, so I tap into who I am as an individual and my divinity, and then when I move that way, like as a Pisces moon, I have to have a spiritual practice. So in the dark, when I can't find my way, it's about getting still and quiet in the forms of meditation, or maybe even speaking in tongues, or maybe I put on a praise track. But that's for me as a Pisces moon. For those with an Aries moon or a fire sign, you might need to go running. You might need to go work out so that you can get into this space and create this energy around you and spirit, because energy and spirit could be used interchangeably, so that you can tap into what you instinctively need to do or know to do. Am I making sense? All right. So let's get into it. Understanding your emotional needs is more than just self indulgence. It's also critical to understand your reactions to various situations and people, and knowing how to steer yourself out of emotional windstorms before hurricanes. So, this has just helped assist you to navigate how you are showing up and how people perceive you, that you had no clue. You didn't have a clue on what you were doing. All right. So we went through the love, we went through every sign, and we looked at the living. We looked at, I want to say we looked at love. We did look at love, and now we're going to look at losing your way. How do you know you lost your way? Okay. So this is for the Aries moon. Okay. Let's dig into it. When you feel emotionally drained, you are likely to respond with anger or defensiveness, where your natural heat flares out of you in snippy remarks to others, or an extra sensitivity to things and people getting on your nerves. This is Aries. Your natural spontaneity in expressing your emotions can have you acting before you've had a chance to think or strategize. Bossiness or impatience with others can have you apologizing later. Also, while it's not your style to be fake or overly sweet, you may have a hard time acknowledging more tender feelings, sometimes shrugging them off or dismissing them, or even teasing others about them to lessen the intensity. Take care it doesn't cause you to treat yourself or others inconsiderately for occasionally feeling weak or hurt. All right, and this is for the Aries moon. All right, so you may snap out and be a little snarky for the Aries moon. For the Taurus, 10-10 Libra. Okay, that's what's up. That's your sun sign, son. Do you know your moon sign? For the Taurus, for losing your way, Taurus. When you're hurting or feeling emotionally drained, the desire to just emotionally shut down or clamp down can kick in. If, for example, you're feeling rushed, or just like you can't get stable footing or a moment to catch your breath. If life is overwhelming you in general, even if it's not with speed but just too much and you're not keeping up, you'll start to fall into behaviors where your first instinct to every situation, question or opportunity is to say no. It's giving, no, I'm not doing that today. This can be a good defense mechanism when you need to take a moment or an afternoon to catch your breath and find your inner equilibrium again. But as a permanent reaction to any shift in your life, it puts you into a state that prevents any growth at all. This can be a result of simple laziness or just becoming fixated on the same routine. But either way, it can set you up for problems later when change has to force its way in circumstantially. OM. This is given. This is given. I'm not going to break my routine. You're asking for too much, and I'm not going to think about it. For the Taurus. But I can see that because Taurus with the grounding, like you need the you like the routine, right? And so when you are emotional, right, it could be in this state of shutting down to make sure you keep your routine. Is there any Tauruses in the room that can verify or not? Does this resonate? Maybe it don't resonate, and that's okay. But I find this fascinating. Listen, I feel like this is kind of spill over to the sun because anything out of a Taurus comfort zone or anything, I was dealing with a Taurus yesterday. His son is Taurus, but I said something. He was like, "Ooh," but it would have brought him out of his routine. And I'm wondering, like, what is his moon sign? But anyway, but this is um is giving. I'm going to do it this way because this is what I'm used to, and I'm going to shut down because it's okay. All right, Gemini. We're talking about today, family. You're coming in this room. We're talking about your moon sign and how it affects you emotionally, and the signs and points of when you've lost your way or may become, we'll say, imbalanced emotionally. Okay. So for the Gemini, hey Beth, see you coming in the room. Gemini, when you feel emotionally drained, you may find it hard to concentrate. Come on, I can see that the air, like you can't get your thoughts together, and you're just kind of like you're in your head, and you just can't think straight. You can't function. Happy Monday. Okay, cool. Thank you, Ben. Thank you for just being here. When you feel emotionally drained, Gemini, you may find it hard to concentrate. The natural restless energy inside of you can start to reach a boiling point. It can be tricky for you to manage your natural curiosity when it feels like you're being led around by it with no ability to stick with something for long. But when you're not taking proper care of yourself, you may feel like you can't rein yourself in. Overstimulation without focus can quickly lead to burnout of this sort as well. So I feel like Gemini, when you're keep on picking new things or moving around, and you don't take a moment to actually reel that in, it could bring about stress and not being able to actually focus so you can get things completed. While it's not fair to stereotype you by saying you can't ever stick to with anything, it can be vulnerability because you're built for discovery and are therefore motivated by your curiosity. You may get bored quickly once that curiosity is satisfied. There's nothing morally wrong with this, but it can be quite inconvenient when you have a project to finish or a commitment to something that you are no longer finding it easy to be enchanted with and curious about. All right, for the Gemini moon. Let's get into the Cancer. Cancer sign, that is. Cancer sign. Losing your way, Cancer. When you feel emotionally drained or hurting, your instinct is to retreat back into your shell. This can be a good thing because when you retreat back to a safe place, you can allow yourself to recover so you can be ready to come back again. The danger can be not coming out often enough to allow yourself to be loved and seen by those that care for you, or retreating into the silence when the situation may call for you to stay present and talk with someone because of their needs or your own. Come on, this is giving retreat, retreat, retreat. I'm not coming back out. You don't enjoy confrontations though, and it can be useful to have a period to cool down and collect yourself. However, if you do this in a way to avoid an issue, indefinitely bitterness will build up inside of you. Okay? Crabs have those claws that clamp down and don't let go. And that shell can get pretty crowded with unfinished business and old grudges if you let it. If you can peek out just a little bit, even to let someone know as much as you dare that you are hurt, it can open the door for healing, often bringing you closer together than you were to begin with. Beth, does that resonate? We have not did Libra yet. We have not did Libra. We are on the moon of Cancer. All right. All right. Let's go with Leo. Leo, losing your way. Ooh, listen. Here we go, Leo. The classic complaint about Leo is arrogance, and true. But if you display arrogant behaviors, you may actually be feeling quite insecure. Ooh, ooh. Listen, listen. This is. I'm not a Leo, but I know a Leo, and this is what I was telling somebody about this experience I was having with a Leo. I was like, their arrogance is legit just showing where they are insecure because you don't have to brag on who you are when you are who you are. And it also could be maybe an inner child wound that your need to invalidate somebody in this space is really your insecurities for what you didn't get as a child. And I'm just dealing with the spirit of the Leo, with the, especially with the Leo moon, and yeah, with the Leo moon and how you're showing up. Okay, but that's just an observation. I could be totally wrong. All right. The classic complaint about Leo is arrogance, but if you display arrogant behaviors, you may actually be feeling quite insecure. But if you display arrogant behavior, okay, we all have emotional defense mechanisms that we employ to protect our vulnerable insides. And many of them are intended to hide the fact that we are hurt or vulnerable at all. It's the comfort, absolutely, Adrian. Listen, it's the overconfidence. Like that's actually, when you're doing it in, yes, I agreed, totally agreed. And I used to tell yes, okay. Let me focus. I have a thing with Leos that I'm healing through. Okay, so yes, we all have emotional defense mechanisms that we employ to protect our vulnerable insides, and many of them are intended to hide the fact that we are hurt or vulnerable at all. Your heart is craving the feeling of being someone special. Ooh, let's right, man. He trying to creep up. Come on, Leo. This is your heart is craving the feeling of being someone special. That what you have to share inside of you is worth something. So when you are hurt or feeling insecure, you may be more prone to overcompensate by acting invulnerable. Woo. While that's a fine defense mechanism, it can often backfire, causing people around you to respond more negatively to you and therefore hurting you more in an endless loop. And so this might not resonate it. Then resonate it. It might not resonate if it's not your moon sign. But if it's your moon sign, let me know if it resonates. Let me know. And if it's the Leo your sun sign that resonates, hey, listen, the energy is still there. All right? I listen. This this stuff is it supports me because when I deal with certain signs, I don't take offense because there's something about being able to read your trigger and somebody else's trigger. Y'all see what I'm saying, family? So when you know these things about yourself, it opens up conversation to see wherever somebody else is coming from, how they're responding. So you're not, especially for example, if a Leo is being arrogant and confident and not hearing you, you know, it brings in this opportunity to say, oh, you're acting this way because you want to be heard. So let me position myself to hear you so that I'm not being so that I'm not triggered myself. Just to just just the conversation around it. All right, here we go. We are that was Leo. We are okay. That was Leo. Let's get into Virgo. Virgo moon with losing your way. With Virgo, the moon feels, it doesn't think. If it could, your Virgo moon would think about everything that's wrong with you and tell you about it. And when it was done with that or too overwhelmed to continue, it would think about what's wrong with everyone else. Virgo is giving critique, 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 critique. Most of the inner storms that brew in any sign can be classified as a side effect of their natural strengths. For a Virgo moon, your natural ability to spot a flaw is a great tool unless you don't know when to quit. An internal dialogue that is always running, whether in the background or the foreground. It is a detailed report on the 8 different ways that you failed today, either in potential you did in size or a task not done to perfection. Because we're talking about the moon, this is usually a process that happens outside of our conscious awareness. Yet, every so often, if you listen carefully enough, you'll catch yourself saying something nasty to yourself. Mm. I think, and I feel like sometimes these things spill over because the energy or the heat or the energy is kind of vibing in that. Because some of the, even though I'm a Pisces moon, some things that are said in Aquarius as my sun, I can resonate with. Okay? Because we're talking about the moon, this is usually a process that happens outside of our consciousness awareness. Yet, ever so often, if you listen carefully enough, you'll catch yourself saying something nasty to yourself. We all do it, but Virgo style is breaking down one failure after another, criticism after criticism of yourself. And if it carries on long enough, criticism of people around you that aren't living up to your expectations. Sheesh. Let's get this, Virgo. The old expression, can't see the forest for the trees, has often been applied to Virgo. When you are hunted, instead of encouraged by your own potential, you can be unable to acknowledge when you've done a good job. So Virgo moon, when you're off, and you're off by way of when you are being so critical that you can't find anything, so you can't find anything good about yourself. All right. So the work would be maybe laugh it off. Learn how to laugh it off and keep it moving, so that you don't get stuck there. Natal moon, Libra, losing your way, Libra. How you know you've lost your way, Libra? Here we go for the Libra moons. Because you have such an awareness of what others need to feel comfortable, a natural ability to see each person's perspective, you can find yourself in the middle of situations and trying to mediate. Yes. Because you have such awareness of what others need to feel comfortable and a natural ability to see each person's perspective, you can find yourself in the middle of situations and trying to mediate. This is fine if you're a judge or a marriage counselor, but being caught in the middle of conflict when you have a strong desire to make sure everyone's happy can put you between a rock and a hard place. You may end up having to bend the truth or appear two-faced in order for each person to feel like you're on their side, which is not only exhausting but is doomed to fail. It's important to recognize how to draw the line and realize that you can't please everyone even if you're willing to try. I think this is giving creating a boundary, and when you create that boundary, stick to it even if somebody's feelings might be hurt per se. When faced with a decision that when faced with a decision that logic or pro and con list can't help us sort out, People usually advise us to follow your heart. But in your case, it's your heart that can feel like the source of the confusion. Your emotional well-being depends on finding a natural balance between things, which means which means you can almost always find a pro to outweigh a con. The downside can be chronic wrestling with indecision and second guessing yourself when you do make a decision. One way to combat this is to take a quick inventory of your current state, physical, emotional, etc. When you're out of balance because you're not being nurtured in one or more ways than you need, this tendency to vacillate can become more prominent. All right? For the Libra, Scorpio, losing your way. Here we go, Scorpios. Scorpio moon. The phoenix can only regenerate through the hope and desire to be born, to renew itself and continue its growth. When you find yourself emotionally drained, the doom and gloom that you are so good at seeing will start to accumulate in your heart, making you even more haunted and decreasing your ability to climb out of bed and start again. Everyone dies, everyone gets hurt. While you're naturally attuned to seeing the dark, it doesn't mean that you don't get scared or deeply weary, just like the rest of us when we've been battered by life. It just means you are better equipped to help yourself and the rest of us deal with it. When the mooniness won't lift and the futility of living seems to be all you can see, it can be easy to fixate on it. Sometimes you can convince yourself that you are just being realistic, but it's often a defense against life itself. Oh my. The crash and burn before the ex- exhilarating rise from the ashes sometimes feels too painful to bear, but you are built to bear it. So find some balance in the light and trust it. It's part of the dark. Laugh really hard. Reinvent yourself again. Shake yourself and your life upside down and renew. For the Scorpio moon. So basically, when you're in this space of dark, 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 bringing in some light, 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 light. That part. Listen, this resonates because I know some Scorpios as well who have been really, really negative, negative, negative. Maybe that's because this is making a lot of sense. Just really, really making a lot of sense. When you are hurting, woo, Scorpio, you take this in. I mean, if you want it. When you're hurting, your instinct can be either to strike back or completely cut off what hurt you and anything associated with it. Ooh. Like the scorpion that represents a Scorpio, you are good at stinging people if you choose, because your ability to sense the truth beneath the facade makes you good at knowing just where to strike beneath a person's defenses. So just be mindful of that, Scorpio. If you're striking back, it might be a good opportunity to investigate and real where's this coming from and why do I need to feel the need to strike back. Just an observation for those that are willing to ask the questions. All right. Capricorn. Capricorn. Losing your way. No, Sagittarius. Sorry. Sagittarius. Losing your way, Sagittarius moon. Sagittarius moon, because you are learning to trust yourself and your own experience, you are vulnerable to the pitfalls of overconfidence. Although a let's try it and see what happens approach can often work, there are many situations where you can quickly get in over your head, and recognizing those before you leap in is your challenge. Looking at life as a learning experience isn't a bad philosophy, but it can often create unnecessary heartaches and broken bones. Going back to Sagittarius, the philosopher, you know almost more than anyone that the heart knows what the mind can never prove, but by its nature, personal experience is personal. What you know in your bones to be true may simply not be the experience and the truth for someone else. And your natural enthusiasm can sometimes a turn into a missionary for your belief. This may be quite unintentional, or you can get it stuck in your head that you know something is true and fight tooth and nail to get everyone else to see it too. Oh my. It's important to recognize when this evangelical urge is getting out of hand, not only because it can drive people away or run them over, but also because when you become a certain of something, you stop being open to learning. Ooh, listen, I had to deal with a Sagittarius this week. Okay, truth is fluid and often changes form, but surety plucks it out of its magic and puts it in cold cement. Your heart will shrivel if you trade inspiration for definition. All right, Sag. It's one thing to know the truth, but it's the one thing to continue to defend the truth and not be open to another way of looking at it. That's giving. Does that resonate with the Sagittarius moons out there? Oh my. This is good stuff to me. This is personal development. So you can catch yourself with like, oh, well, maybe I'm stuck in my opinion here. Maybe I need to be a little flexible just to be open to hear. It doesn't mean I have to change, but maybe I'm coming across as I know. Honestly, no. Okay, well that's cool. If it don't resonate, don't resonate. That's cool. That's cool. Keep in mind, keep in mind also that these are general too, Beth. And so when looking at your chart, it might also be good to look at what other planets are even in your house because your moon is in a certain house and that also adds another layer as to how you be. Okay? So very, 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 very interesting. Oh my god. Or it could be. That is interesting. I mean, this is I just had this bet and this not may not be accurate, but then it could be. It could be in the sense of if you're a Sagittarius moon and you're saying that this is not correct because you feel something else, then it actually could be correct because you're blocking your truth. But that's just the observation. You go with yours. You go with yours. But I just had that thought. So it don't have to resonate, but it could still be true, and it might not be true. But those that know what I mean know what I mean. But I just had that thought. Oh my goodness, because we can be blindsided by things like no, that's not true, and then later discover, oh, it is there. I had this lesson that my personal experience won't be the same for everyone as I have Jupiter. Ah, listen, you see, and this is why you have to also, when you get your chart, you can see, like knowing the truth and present truth. Okay, got you. But also keep in mind that, like, like Sade says, like if you have other placements in your chart, yeah. So you have like knowing the truth and pressing the truth. That's what it's saying. Like if you know something, like and you're adamant about this is what it is, then that could prevent you from being open to somebody else's experience. And that's what that was saying. Interesting. Yes. I just find this fascinating to me. What did it read? Okay. This may be quite unconventional, or you can get it stuck in your head that you know something is true and fight tooth and nail to get everyone else to see it. It's important to recognize when this evangelical urge is getting out of hand, Not only because it can drive people away, but also because you can become certain of something. You stop when you become certain of something, you stop being open to learning. Just that, and it doesn't have to resonate. It doesn't have to. But if it does, use it. All right. Did we do Capricorn? No, we just did Sagittarius. Capricorn. Here we go. Capricorn moon. When you are hurting, it may be difficult for others to know because you tend to take care of issues yourself so often. Oh my. And you leap straight to problem solving rather than wallowing in the emotion. The more you are in need of care, the more stoic you become. You can be good at putting emotions on hold until a crisis is over. But if that continues too long, you can lapse into robotic responses and behavior. Be careful of being so efficient that you forget to feel entirely. Oh my, that's good. I think it's that I got this. I got this. And so you become into you instead of feeling what's happening, you just go into problem solving versus maybe even open up opportunity for people to help you. That's what it's giving. With your moon in Capricorn, you're so prone to focusing so much on what's required of you and being responsible that you can drain your emotional bank by getting lost in a bottomless pit of duty. Oh my. Okay, Capricorn? Just take a moment to feel. Take a moment to feel. All right, for the Aquarius moon. Social expectations, otherwise known as peer pressure, can be difficult to shrug off, but it's not impossible. It's easy to be a rebel when no one's feelings get hurt. But when someone you love has expectations of you because they need you or because they want the best for you and think they know what that is, it can be a lot trickier. The ability to pull away from the undertow of love expectations can sometimes get the better of even an Aquarius moon. If that happens, you do not suddenly become what your loved one wants you to become. So you're now faced with pretending to be something or someone you're not. Ooh. Oh my. We all do this from time to time when we are trying something on. We are not sure whether or not it will work for us, and we're giving something a chance because we really want something to work out for everyone. But nothing will shut down your heart, your joy, your essence like flirting or binding your true self, even for a seemingly good reason like love. So, Aquarius, when you're not being yourself and when you're trying to change to fit, you have lost your way. No doubt you've experienced challenges where you've had to choose between making someone else happy or being your true self. And no one but you can know which decision is right in every case. So for the Aquarius moon, when you're feeling like you have to be someone else when you're not, or I just had this thought the other day because my daughter said something to me. She was like, you can be very passive aggressive. And I was like, okay, I know this about me. All at the same time, my parenting style has been one to choose my words. And I was asking, like, do you want me to be direct? Like, what? And she was like, well, I don't know. And I'm having to sit with this, even though this is my moon sign, but I'm still having to sit. It's not my moon sign, but as an Aquarius, I'm sitting with this overall because as my being and who I'm evolving into with my son, like even my parenting has to be true to me. Just a thought, just something you know, I can rock with that. Just yeah. So here we go. Pisces, losing your way. One of the fastest ways to drain yourself emotionally is by taking your natural desire to help too far and giving yourself away so completely that there's nothing left for you. You instinctively know when you need to rest and retreat, but sometimes you don't do it because sometimes to recharge your for yourself can often mean saying no to someone in need. You, this is so true because you know it was a wrestle to to say I wasn't coming live from Metaphysical Bible Study. The truth, I wrestled with that thing even the night before. It was like, you know what, I need a day, and then it took me up to Friday, while I was dropping off my kids, like, I'm not gonna make this live. But it was still like, okay, well, maybe I just text and say I'm gonna be late. But then my spirit was like, no, you need a day. So this resonates so well. Like, even as a worship leader, not wanting to take a Sunday off because this idea that I need to be in service, I need to be in service, you know. And so I'm learning that I need and desire rest so that I can continue to pour out in full transparency. In full transparency. And I think I know one of the things that I was hesitant about going live and doing this work on a consistent basis is because church wore me out, if I could say that. Because I would lead every Sunday when I was leading. Like every Sunday. And I did that. There was a time frame in a solid 5 year time frame that I didn't take a Sunday off unless unless the church was out of town, but then I was still serving then, or unless it was like an anniversary weekend while I was married and we was just going to be out of town. But it was not something on my radar to take off. So that's just something that I'm aware of now that I know I have to have. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but it did. Church wore me out. And so now that I serve, um, like I served at a church twice a month. And I do that because I don't want to be in this space of being worn out. Like even with this, like I'm being mindful even now to maybe even negotiate to where I'm not on 6 days a week and I'm on 5 days a week. Just for the sake of learning balance and not getting caught up in I gotta serve, I gotta give, for the sake of all of us. Okay? So Craig can stay tame. You hear me? So Craig can stay in his rightful place because we don't want Craig showing up and Craig be coming off. Oh, you telling the truth, but then you be like, oh Craig, come down. So we stay keeping Craig tamed. You hear me? Uh. So Pisces Moon, you instinctively know when you need to rest and retreat, but sometimes you don't do it because sometimes to recharge for yourself can often mean saying no to someone in need. Your natural ability to empathize with people can also drain you if you're not careful about the company you keep and the environments you put yourself in. Because your heart's boundaries are more porous than others. Ain't this the truth? Ain't this the truth? And people don't understand. I just want to testify. I just want to testify because people don't be understand that I feel everything. And I know I'm being dramatic right now because Craig just want to have his way with us in this moment. And maybe it could be a little Titus too, but I be feeling everything and I don't want to feel everything all the time. Sorry. Oh my goodness. I don't want to feel that way all the time. I don't want to pick up your and mine too. Sorry. I'm having a moment. Okay. Oh my goodness. But it be real. It be real. Huh, fam. So we got through all the houses. We got not all that. We got through all the planets, and with the living, and that's just this book. And is that what the spray is for? The spray is not just for Craig. The spray is to help keep the vibe clean. And if I feel like an energy is in the room or spirit or however you want to define that, I keep the spray to kind of help keep the air clean. Libra, okay, let's go back and then we'll go into affirmations. And again, this is just about losing your way. We did the living and the love, like how your living style and your relationships should be. And maybe I'll do some reels to to convert this into some reels. I believe Libra, what we talked about today, losing your way, native moon in Libra. We was talking about not getting like picking a side and not getting caught up in pleasing everybody. So Libra moon, because you have such an awareness of what others need to feel comfortable and a natural ability to see each person's perspective, you can find yourself in the middle of situations and trying to mediate. Okay? This is fine if you're a judge or a marriage counselor, but being caught in the middle of conflict when you have a strong desire to make sure everyone's happy can put you between a rock and a hard place. You may end up having to bend the truth or appear two-faced in order for each person to feel like you're on their side, which is not only exhausting but is doomed to fail. Absolutely. We spray to clear the negative vibes. It's important to recognize how to draw the line and realize that you can't please everyone even if you're willing to try. Okay? So that's Libra. Okay, I just wanted to see if there's anything I wanted to share. When you're out of balance because you're not being nurtured, when you are out of balance because you're not being nurtured in one or more ways than you need, this tendency to vacillate can become more prominent. You end you said you said did it resonate, Adrian? When you end up being the counselor in your relationship, listen. When you end up being the counselor, and this is why I feel like a Libra moon. You, this is my offering. I bet. Libra moon. This gives me you a Libra moon needs to be with somebody that is also open to self reflection, so that you have this ebb and flow. Because if you did, I feel like if you had, lack of a better, I don't know. Listen, I feel like if you had an unhealed Scorpio, let's say it that, because Scorpio are known for projecting, um, a lot of projection, and it's very different than other. This is just my observation with dealing with Scorpio. Like that would be with a Libra and a Scorpio. If a Scorpio is unhealed, that would become very very irritant to a Libra who's trying to find the balance and try to, and you become the counselor, and instead of them owning their stuff, you're owning all of it. So it becomes where you need someone that can hold that space in the middle with you. But that's just the way that I look at it when we're talking about these energies and these personas, because essentially that's what astrology is when we're looking at this personal development work. It's about personas, these personality types, and in those personality types are other other facets. All right. So fam, that those were the signs, and through the living love and how you know you're out of balance. Tomorrow we'll go through the houses, because you there's 12 houses, so your moon could be in a different house, and with that it adds another layer. So if you don't know your house, you know, between now and then, kind of go look to see where your house, what house your moon is in. So when we're bringing it in conversation, it can bring some more clarity as to how you emote and navigate your feelings and instincts. Okay. All right, fam. I'm gonna give you your affirmations just in case you missed them from this morning live. Um, and you'll have those with because we are in the moon sign of Virgo. And what this is just a point to think about how can I get organized? How can I balance? So if you are out of balance and this resonated with you, then this affirmation will support you in getting balanced. All right, let me pull it up. Did this resonate with y'all, fam? So again, the Virgo moon is about focus, grounding, organization, and clarity. So, fire signs. This affirmation is to support and help you this week. Well, for today and yesterday we was in Virgo moon. Tomorrow we will be in Libra through, and then Friday we'll be in Scorpio. Okay, so for today you can use this, and then tomorrow we'll bring a different affirmation in this space to support in the Libra moon. Okay, Aries, the fire signs. The fire signs. Here we go. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Aries, I take time to pause and embrace simplicity, grounding my energy with clarity. Aries, I take time to pause and embrace simplicity, grounding my energy with clarity. I take time to pause and embrace simplicity, grounding my energy with clarity. Leo, I honor my creativity by organizing my thoughts, allowing inspiration to flow with ease. Leo, I honor my creativity by organizing my thoughts, allowing my inspiration to flow, allowing inspiration to flow with ease. I honor my creativity by organizing my thoughts, allowing inspiration to flow with ease. Sagittarius, I balance my adventurous spirit with mindful planning, feeling secure in the details. Sagittarius, I balance my adventurous spirit with mindful planning, feeling secure in the details. I balance my adventurous spirit with mindful planning, feeling secure in the details. For the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Taurus, I feel at peace in routines that support my well being and growth. I feel at peace in routines that support my well being and growth. I feel at peace in routines that support my well being and growth. For the Virgo, I release perfectionism and embrace progress, trusting my natural rhythm. Virgo, I release perfectionism and embrace progress, trusting my natural rhythm. I release perfectionism and embrace progress, trusting my natural rhythm. Capricorn, I balance my ambition with patience, knowing each step is building my foundation. Capricorn, I balance my ambition with patience, knowing each step is building my foundation. I balance my ambition with patience, knowing each step is building my foundation. You're welcome, Sade. For the air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Gemini, I bring focus to my curiosity, allowing it to blossom in mindful, grounded ways. Gemini, I bring focus to my curiosity, allowing it to blossom in mindful, grounded ways. I bring focus to my curiosity, allowing it to blossom in mindful, grounded ways. Libra, I seek balance in my thoughts and actions, embracing harmony within and around me. I seek balance in my thoughts and actions, embracing harmony within and around me. I seek balance in my thoughts and actions, embracing harmony within and around me. Aquarius. Aquarius affirmation for the Virgo moon. I bring my visions into the present moment, organizing ideas for the good of all. Aquarius. I bring my visions into the present moment, organizing ideas for the good of all. I bring my visions into the present moment, organizing ideas for the good of all. And water sign. Absolutely, in the age of Aquarius. Absolutely. Water signs. Cancer. I nurture myself through grounding practices, finding peace in the present. Cancer. I nurture myself through grounding practices, finding peace in the present. Scorpio. I embrace clarity in my emotions, allowing them to flow with gentle structure. Scorpio. I embrace clarity in my emotions, allowing them to flow with gentle structure. Pisces. I trust in gentle routines to support my dreams, grounding my spirit with grace. I trust in gentle routines to support my dreams, grounded by spirit with grace. Grounded by spirit with grace. I trust in gentle routines to support my dreams, grounding my spirit with grace. All right, fam? So, those are your affirmations for this Virgo moon that we are in. And it's just an opportunity to use these tools as a way for personal development and healing and keeping yourself in a space of focus and being grounded. All right? Cool, fam. If this live was a blessing to you, I appreciate the donations. If it assisted and supported you, you can send a donation by way of my bio, the Cashapp, Venmo. If you need to work one on one, desire work one on one, that information is in the bio as well. In ways that I can support you and help you and get to where you're trying to be. Okay. So I love y'all. I will be back later on today. I'm going to shoot for 10 or 11 to come back and do some readings. That's where I'm putting my attention to. We gonna get it in. We're gonna put it back out there, put in the ether that we are here to serve, help, with our use these different tools and skills that we've been blessed and called to. So I will see you guys later. Have the most amazing day. And just in case you haven't heard it in a while, come on. Hey. And just in case you really need to know. Hey. Just in case you haven't heard it in a while. And just in case you really need to know, whoa, I love you back, ayy. I love you, I love you, I love you back, ayy. I love you, I love you, I love you back, ayy. I love you, I love you, I love you back. One more thing, I want to be obedient to what I felt led to do with y'all, if that's okay. I know I'm over my time, but it's something that I've been encouraged to do for myself, and I want to bring this in as a prayer to close it out, and maybe we'll do it for the rest of the week. Um, but I want to just offer it to those that are in this space of manifesting. Okay, and this is called an oath of manifestation. So you can either repeat it with me or just take it in, however you want to, and I'll make sure that I'll read it slow enough so that if you are repeating it, you know you're calling it in. So here we go. Thank you for the roadside egg. Here we go. It's oath of manifestation. And this is the declaration that we're putting in the ether. I accept and receive unexpected good, unexpected money, unexpected love, unexpected kindness, unexpected generosity, unexpected offers, unexpected prosperity coming in unexpected ways, from unexpected places in my life and the life of others. I am constantly guided and boldly empowered to receive the lavish abundance of the universe. I accept the principle that abundance and prosperity have already been given to me. My acceptance makes it real and opens the space for manifestation to rush in. I open wide the doors of my consciousness to receive and to give. It is done now. And so it is. Okay, fam? So let that marinate. Listen, isn't it wonderful? And it is. Because we can have anything that we want. All right, fam. You guys have the most amazing day. I love y'all. And we will talk to y'all soon. All right. Doo-doo.